Well, we have Steve Ladd with us.
Hello.
Glad to be here. And again, you mentioned, a number of the groups that you've been with. But tell us a little bit about where your music is now. What are you doing? Kind of a little bit about yourself as well.
Well, I left the group, the Old Past, which are now Anthem Edition, 2 years ago, in just a couple weeks, and just went back solo. And so I've been working on music. My plan originally was just to record a song, put it out to radio, put it out to streaming. Then in about 6 months, put another song out. That's the way recording is going. I mean, they're not going to be albums. I mean, very soon, no albums. It's just going to be released songs. That was my plan. I released Preach the Word, and then another song, and then signed with a division of Daywind, Big Picture Records. And so they were like, we want an album. So then I had to scramble and get together the rest of that. So I just released the end of August, my new album released. The Trouble with Me is what it's called, and so I'm excited about it. I feel like it's my best. I've done five solo albums since I left Gold City, and I put all that on hold when I joined the Old Pass, and so it's been 7 years since I've recorded a new album, and so I'm excited about it. I guess I feel like it's one of my best efforts to date, and my new radio single, I'm with the band. It was cool to have Michael and Ronnie Booth join me on there. Ronnie's not recorded with Michael in several years, and so it was cool to have the actual two brothers be on it. And it's a song I wrote with Kenna Turner West and Jason Cox. My idea of the song was, I've always been jealous of guitar players, drummers, piano players, because they get a cold, they can still pluck those strings, they can still hit those skins. A singer gets sick. I was sick about a month and a half ago, and I mean, I was thankful I was able to sing, but it's just hard. Yeah. You don't feel like you're doing your best, and you don't know if it's going to be there when you open your mouth or not. So there's been tons of songs about going into heaven and singing in the choir. Gaither's had a song, I'll be singing with the saints, and I wanted a song. I said, I've had enough of that. When I get to heaven, I don't want to sing. I want to be in the band. And so I wrote a song called I'm with the Band, and it talks about the different characters. And there's not a lot of gospel songs now that have Bible characters in them. Yeah. This would talk about Moses. I say I can see Moses and tearing up a B3, and old Jeremiah dropping the beat, and Miriam playing and that's what she played in the Bible was the tambourine. So I mean, it just pulls all those Bible characters out, and it's a fun song. And Michael and Ronnie Booth really brought it to life. But I've got another song, Everyday Saints was my last single, and that's just a sweet song to me. It reminds me of my dad. My dad was a Vietnam War vet, so when I heard first the songwriter sent it to me, I fell in love with the first verse because it talks about a Vietnam War vet, and so that did very well at radio. And so I'm just excited. Doors have been opening, and we've just been traveling like crazy. And my wife's involved now. She runs my sound everywhere I go, and she gets up and sings a couple songs with me. I'm trying to get her to do more, and she plays guitar. She won't play it in front of people yet, but piano, and we're trying to gradually move into that. And so I'm just excited. For my whole career, I've been on a bus with a bunch of guys, and missed a lot at home, and missed being at home, missed being with my family. And so now it's just her and I, and we travel in an RV and just travel around and sing and go where the Lord opens the door.
Yeah, that's exciting. Yeah. I know. I get the privilege of traveling with my wife a lot, and so that it really does make a difference.
Not so much on their side is it a blessing, but it's a blessing for us.
It's definitely on our side. They look better and smell better.
You're right. You are exactly right.
When you're getting a song now, obviously you've got artists, writers that are bringing you songs. What do you do when you're looking at what they're bringing you as opposed to maybe what you're putting down? What is it that you're, especially now, like you said, it's kind of been a shift. What are you looking for?
So I've just started co-writing or getting into writing, and as a matter of fact, my wife has wrote a couple with Kenna as well. So she's getting into that because I've got something to say, but it's. Everybody's got something to say, but not everybody needs to say it, or knows how to write it down and say it correctly. And so I'm learning. So I've got 4 songs total. 2 of them are on the new album. I'm with the band, and Sometimes the Devil Tells the Truth, which is a song that I think will make people at least listen to it just to see what it's talking about. But it's a song that talks about the battle in the mind. I've struggled my whole life, and I don't care who I am or what people think of me. I struggled with worry my whole life and anxiety, self-confidence. I've never had self-confidence. I fake it very well, but I'd much rather be in that corner right there and not be in front of people and just, watch everybody else talk and have a good time. And my dad passed away last year. He was 75 years old. He was an evangelist, and he would say sometimes in his sermons, the devil won't always lie to you.
Yeah.
He'll tell you you're not good enough. That ain't a lie.
It's not a lie. Yeah.
Tell you you're not holy enough. Tell you you're this or you're that. And if he knows he can't get our soul, he'll attack our mind with things that are true about ourselves, but just to keep us bogged down and live in a defeated, depressed, anxiety-filled life. But Dad said he leaves out parts of that story, and so I heard a preacher say one time, part of the truth told as the whole truth is still just a lie.
Yeah.
And so even though the devil will tell us, we know he's the father of lies, but he'll tell us the truth to get our minds tore up, because and a lot of people battle with what they are, and how I'm nothing, and he'll latch onto that, and so we wrote the song. It's he ain't wrong when he says we're unworthy. He ain't wrong when he says we're all to blame, but he's leaving out the part of the story where Jesus made a way to save us by his grace. Wow. So it ties it in. Yeah. If you just look at the titles, like, what do you mean? He's a liar. And a matter of fact, the guy that co-wrote it with us, Jason Koch, is one that wrote Liar, Liar for Brian Free. Yeah. So it's funny, he's got a song calling the devil a liar, but now we got a song, sometimes he tells the truth, And so this album is full of really strong songs. Mercy Seat is the opening. It's fun, it's upbeat, but the chorus is, come lay your failures at the Savior's feet. You'll find forgiveness at the mercy seat. It just talks about, says, anybody here dragging around their mistakes? Anybody here need to know that there's grace? You're not defined by what you used to be. Anybody, anywhere can be made better. It's just a great song. So I'm excited about it, and I want to sing songs that speak to me. Because if they speak to me, I think it'll come out authentic, and then it'll be able to speak to the people. So
that's a great word, that authentic.
That's lacking.
Yeah, it's so lacking. And again, our audience knows this. Our target audience is that younger millennial, Gen Z. The big thing that keeps coming out with them, they're just looking for somebody to be authentic.
Man, the lost, not just the young people, but the lost, they wanted something they can believe in. Yeah. And it's sad the believers have not been what they can believe in, But I'm just trying to pick songs like the album title song, The Trouble With Me. It talks about just everything I do and how I get into trouble. I pick up stones when I know I should let them go. I want to throw them at someone when I should forgive. Yeah. I live like I'm in prison when I know he set me free. Yeah. That's the trouble with me. But God is always up to something. He's at work in ways that I can't see. It just turns it around. And of course, I have preached the word on there. I released it last year, and as the first song that I was just going to send a song out, and then now that we put the album together, I was like, well, that's got to be on there. And so it finishes out the album. I'm really excited about it, this album, and I've been hearing from people, for what it's worth, that it's my best one that I put out, and that makes you feel good, because you always want to get better. You always want to evolve and mature as each album goes on, and so I'm excited about it.
Well, definitely, it's coming across in your music, your heart and passion, and I do think it's hitting a very strong point right now, just because, like I said, this generation is looking for answers. They're not looking for the pat answers that everybody had in the past. This is real.
They're tired of the fluff, man. When there's been so much fluff in Christianity and gospel music and everything, and they can see right through it. And it's sad that we can't tell that they can see it through it. Yeah,
we're missing it when we don't realize that's exactly right. Yeah. I would be remiss not to maybe ask a question in light of the events of this last week or so with Charlie Kirk's passing. How do you feel like that may impact in the audiences and maybe what you're seeing out there?
I'm going to be very careful how I say this. It's going to be more impactful. It's going to have more than we even know right now, and I don't even know if in a good way. Yeah. I think a lot of things. I mean, I'm for free speech. I think we've been given the blessing of living in America, and we're one of the only countries where you're allowed to say what you want to say, and you are too. And I believe, I'm right.
Yeah.
I don't believe I'm right. I'm just saying I'm on the right side.
Of, things.
It's wrong when the left was stifling free speech, but it's wrong when the right does it.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's a scary thin line to walk. I'm just saying, I don't agree with what that guy said, but should he have lost his job over it, I don't know. I'm just trying to be careful what I say, but I just think if it's free speech, we didn't like it when the left was doing it to us. Now we're doing it.
Yeah,
and I'm like, come on, guys.
Right. I think the important thing is to be able to say, look.
We should be able to disagree.
Right. And so if we're going to be able to share the gospel.
Because next they're going to say you can't play gospel music.
Right. And that's
next they're going to say you can't talk about Jesus.
Yeah.
And
so we've got to make sure that we keep that.
It's got to be free speech is free speech, whether I agree with it or not, And so that's all I'm going to say. I
appreciate that.
I don't get into politics because
this is really why we want to be authentic to this next generation, because we want them to understand. Look, we want you to understand, and it is a biblical principle to be able to sit there and say, we've been given a free will to be able to communicate, and if I don't protect somebody else's, and I lose mine,
they're going to take ours away.
Yeah, and so to be able to have that, so I really appreciate that. I know it's
a scary, weird time, and there's nothing that'll divide church people or Christians more than these politics that's going on. And I think a lot of it's a big distraction. I'm not talking about the event that happened. That was a real event. I'm talking about everything around it is distractions to get us not focused on what we need to be focused on. But now we're laughing at shutting the right up or shutting the left up when we shouldn't be, because when they try to shut us up.
Yeah. And this is where we really push on the network, and our listeners know this. If we give the truth, it's going to override what anybody else says. I don't have to tell them you can't speak.
Nope.
We give them the truth.
Just give them the truth and let the loose ends hang and fall where they may, whether they want to believe it or whether they want to listen to you or not. But that's the good thing about we are born with an inherent right of thinking how we want to think and saying what we want to say, and it's scary to think we're shutting a side up. When in 4 years,
we could be right back.
We could be right back to it, and they say you can't talk about God or Jesus, or you're going to go to prison.
Yeah.
So I just say what you want, but let me say what I want.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I love it, and I love your music. And again, I think you're right. This last album is just
thank you.
It's just been phenomenal, and it has resonated with our listeners. They are seeing that the authenticity.
Thank you.
Where things are, and I appreciate it. So, where do they find your music, and where do they find you?
They can go to steveladd.com, and that's 2 D's, Ladd, steveladd.com. My album's on USB and CD on there. I've got a lot of merchandise, but there's also links to Facebook, Twitter, X, which is Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. I'm all over the place, and as long as we can still be on every place right now,
that's another reason why we need to keep the free speech so we can get it out there.
And all the streaming networks, Spotify, Pandora, Apple, Amazon, YouTube, all that. All of my music's on there.
Yeah, our listeners, we always encourage them to get your music. So if they download it digitally, that's fine. But we always encourage them. It's better to support you by purchasing the.
No, it does.
That
is a blessing, you know.
We
and
really want them to do that. So we always encourage them.
Forget what I just said about streaming.
Go ahead and get on streaming.
Go get it.
Then go buy the full
and I have told people that they were like, "Well, I'll just stream it." And I said, "Well, get a copy as well. You know, that way you can physically look at it and read read who played what and where I recorded it and whatnot." And so
we know how that supports. We say. You can get the music for yourself, but if you buy those things, you're supporting the artist. Yeah. So we can keep that out.
No, that's a blessing. Thank you for being conscious of that, because most people just say, I'll just stream it.
Yeah.
You know.
So we really encourage our listeners to buy the merchandise, anything they can to support.
I was in Ohio this past Friday doing a concert just outside of Dayton, and I was with another group, and all they had was T-shirts, and they said, we just want you to go stream our music, and that is where it's all going to. CDs and stuff will go away, but right now, they could have got some gas money to get down the road, you know what I'm saying, or bought a hamburger or two if they had some CDs to sell, and so thank you for thinking of that, because you're right, it's a meat where it's streaming. It could be years before you see $20.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
So-
most of them don't realize that you
Yeah.
don't really get a lot out of that.
A song
That's the-
a song has to be streamed. I think it's, and I might be wrong. It used to be like 1,500 times for an artist to make $15.
Yeah. So that's barely going to get you any gas money to go anywhere. So we highly encourage you. Well, we're going to link all your stuff onto
Thank
our
you.
website, our YouTube channel where this is going to be played at. There'll be a link on there as
Awesome.
well. Encourage them. So from here, where do you go? Where can people maybe come see you?
Well, I was just up in Ohio and in Indiana, and so when we leave here, we're going to be in the Athens, Georgia area, and then South Alabama. It's right next to LaGrange, Georgia, Phoenix
Okay.
City, Alabama.
Oh,
I'll
yeah,
be
so you
next
can
Sunday
find out.
morning.
Gotcha.
This coming Sunday morning, I'll be in Phoenix City, Alabama, and so, but got a cruise going to Michigan. I mean, I'm going to be in Arkansas, over near the Oklahoma here next month, and so God's opening doors, and I'm just willing to walk
Good.
through them.
Well, we've
As
got
long
listen-
as she goes with me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we got listeners all over the country, so we always encourage them to find
Yeah.
out where the artists are at.
SteveLadd.com.
Yep.
My schedule's updated every time a date's booked. It's on there. So
We'd want them to come see you.
yeah,
Well, thanks for spending a few minutes with
thank
us.
you.
Love to have you.
Thank y'all for having me, and thanks for what you all do for the kingdom.
Thank you. Appreciate it.